It's interesting to me, being a traditional allopathic trained provider, that I used to think about fasting representing itself as starvation. And I'm happy to say that I have learned better since my original thought process around that. When I think about intermittent fasting, it's really eating less frequently. And in our harried modern day lifestyles, more often than not, people are eating between sugar sweetened beverages and food. They're eating anywhere from 6 to 10 to 15 times a day. And so intermittent fasting is providing a structure around which people are eating within a particular eating window. It could be 8 hours, could be 10 hours, could be 6 hours, could be four. Although I will explain why I prefer that people have a wider feeding window as opposed to a very compressed one. And in terms of, the largest benefits, the ones that I think a lot of women in particular come to intermittent fasting out of an innate curiosity is they want to change body composition, they want to lose weight, but there's so much more to fasting than that. For me, I see so much improvement in inflammation, so a lot of chronic inflammatory conditions, reduction in oxidative stress, a reduction and improvement in baseline, body metrics, so blood pressure, cholesterol, insulin, glucose, improvement in brain health and cognition. And we know that for individuals, once they are transitioning to being able to use fuel more efficiently, they are effectively utilizing both carbohydrates and fats as a fuel source. They will have diffusion of ketones across the blood-brain barrier. So they'll say, I have so much mental clarity, I have so much energy. And a lot of what I think about is just the process of not eating so frequently. So this degree of digestive rest, fast long enough, you'll get different benefits than when you fast for shorter periods of time. But we know things like autophagy, which is this waste and recycling process in the body that, based on whomever you're speaking to, whatever paper you're looking at, how that can be upregulated around 24 hours. But I don't ever think about it switching on and off entirely. So people are still getting benefits. But those are typically some of the ones that maybe some are better known, some are less known. I also think about improvement in neurocognitive disorders, lowering our risk for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, a reduction in specific types of cancer, especially those reproductive cancers. And as I always say, people come to it to change body composition and they stay for all the other benefits very humbly.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this little clip. And if you want to listen to the full-length podcast, the link for that is down in the description below. Also, one more thing before you go, I want to mention, in case you don't already know about it, our formula, Energenesis. This is an amazing product that has multiple compounds in it that are scientifically proven in numerous studies to increase your energy levels, not just by 3% or 5% or 10%, but by 30 or 40 or 50% in a very, very short time frame. So one of these compounds that I'll mention here is called NT factor phospholipid, and it is an extract of phospholipids that comes from lecithin, and they extract the pure phospholipids from this. Things like phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, and many others. And these are the same fatty acid compounds, phospholipid compounds, that compose our cell membranes and mitochondrial membranes. And this specific patented formula has been shown actually to enter into the bloodstream undigested, basically, without being broken down and denatured through the digestive process in the stomach and the intestines. It makes it into the bloodstream and actually makes it all the way to our cells and to our mitochondria, where it helps repair damaged mitochondrial membranes and facilitates our mitochondria functioning better. Now, all of that sounds like wonderful theory, and it sounds like it could be beneficial. But the real test is, has it actually been studied and been proven to increase your energy levels? And the answer is yes, absolutely. There are numerous studies outlined in a wonderful paper by a scientist named Garth Nicholson in a paper called Lipid Replacement Therapy. I highly recommend checking this out if you're interested in digging into the research. But this compound has been studied in the context of multiple different kinds of chronic fatigue. Aging-related chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue, obscure things like Gulf War illness, and numerous studies in chronic fatigue syndrome. And there are studies showing that this has the capability. They've taken one study, in fact, actually showed that in elderly adults over the age of 65, it restored their mitochondrial health, which had deteriorated heavily. It restored it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, believe it or not. And they've actually measured energy levels in these people. And all of these studies across the board show improvements in energy of at least 25% and typically more like 35 to 45% in just the span of between 4 to 12 weeks. That's how long all of these studies are, 4 to 12 weeks. They're showing dramatic, huge improvements in energy levels by helping to repair these mitochondrial membranes through this thing called lipid replacement therapy, using, again, this patented form of a phospholipid extract called NT factor. This is just one of about 20 ingredients proven to benefit mitochondrial health that you'll find in my formula Energenesis. So I strongly encourage you, if you are struggling with your energy levels, if you're dealing with chronic fatigue, go grab yourself a bottle or 3 of this, or subscribe and save. Try it out. You are going to be blown away by the results. We get so many testimonials. We get so many emails from people talking about how this one thing has transformed their lives. So I cannot encourage you strongly enough to give this a shot. And let's say you buy 3 bottles, try out the first one, give it a month. And if you don't notice significant improvements, you can return the unopened bottles to us for a full refund. So give it a shot. I really think you're going to be blown away by the results. The formula is called Energenesis, and you can get it at theenergyblueprint.com or click the link below. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you again very soon.